Hey everybody! Next I want to take a look at Samposium's resampling feature. Resampling can be used in a wide variety of ways, whether it's enhancing an existing project, or you just want to capture and have a recording of you playing and performing with the app. So today we're going to start out with the demo project, Start of Something Beautiful, and we're going to resample the output of a couple sample pads to enhance the overall textures and drones that are going. So let's start our sample pad that we want. And we're going to turn it up just so it's louder here. And then we're going to also add in our crackle synths, and we're going to move it to latch so I can turn it on and off. And we're going to bring that in as well. And you can hear this. And this is very nice and pretty. And so what we're going to do is we're going to resample both of these other sample pads playing. And how you begin resampling is you tap on an empty sample pad, and you can see to the left is the mic line recording, but to the right, which looks like a waveform, is the resample controls. So we're going to let go, and it's going to bring up the record controls, and we're going to start resampling our output. And we're going to go over to our crackle synth. And we're going to start opening up the filter as well as panning it more towards the left. And as I do this, the idea is to kind of capture this audio, and then we're going to add it back into our project as a new sample pad. So we have that coming down. We're closing the filter up. Let's go ahead and come here and open up this one a little bit, this other sample. It sounds very pretty, and we'll go back over to this and then open this back up again. And then bring that right back down. And we're going to stop our recording. We're going to stop our samples and go to our sample pad that has the recording on it. And if we hit play, you're going to start hearing those changes that I was doing with the filters and the panning and stuff, all be in our new sample pad, because again, it just records the audio output. So let's now go ahead and stop this sample pad. We're gonna loop it. We're gonna change it to latch right now. We're gonna go back to our other sample pads and change those back to trigger and not to loop on each of these, just so that way when we bring in our full composition, the sample pads are in trigger. And so now what we're going to do is, with all the filter intro, I'm not really wanting that we can just jump right into this, and we'll change this to trigger as well. Okay, and let's actually reverse that. So now we're catching the end of that tail. And so now if we play our other sample pads that we originally had, it's all going to be mixed in together. But what we're going to do is go to one of our other sample pads, and one of my favorite things to do is, it just saves time, is to copy the effects of this sample pad. And you can do that from the edit menu, copy pad effects right here. Oh, I tapped on the wrong one. Let's try that again. And we're going to go over to our sample pad that has our resample in it and paste those effects. It's just a quick way to get things done, but what I'm going to do is reset all the effects because it copies all the parameters and the settings the way they are. So now we have a copy of our effects, which has our delay, low pass filter, and high pass filter. And what we're going to do is now we're going to pitch it up by like an octave. And then with our others playing, you can hear that it's kind of added this new little high texture. We're going to pan that over to the left. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add it to our overall composition, which is our sequence. So we're going to tap it on 1 and 17 of our 32-step sequencer. And so when I hit play now, it'll play the original composition, which I have to turn these down a little bit so everything sounds okay. You can hear it. And we can pitch it up even higher. And maybe we want to move this over a little bit, make this a little smaller, a little tighter. And now we have this like top layer texture, which we resampled from 2 other sample pads, where we're manipulating the effects and recording that audio output. This is a really fun way to just get lost in Samposium, and there's many a times where I have like a little song I've put together, and then when I start resampling, like just time just goes by, and I just find myself making just different creations and just different sounds. So this is one way that you can use resampling that I find really fun. Next, we're going to do another resample by using some samples that I created by just using some things I have around the house. Just an acoustic guitar. Oh. We have a key drop, a little tap on a coffee table, and then a clap. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this guitar sample and we're going to work it. So first, we're going to add a little bit of delay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up our sample pad to resample, and we're going to start recording, and then we're going to trigger our sample of our guitar with some delay. We're just going to let that ring out. Now we have our sample of our guitar. It's a little quiet, so we're going to normalize it a little louder. Let's see, let's try that again. Okay, and now we're going to bring down the volume. We're going to go to our original guitar sample, and we're going to copy the effects, and then we're going to apply the effects to our new sample pad. And now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse it. We're going to bring the tail up to the end, and we're going to apply some delay and reverb and turn it down. So now this sounds like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to loop that, and we're going to resample that. So we're going to do another resample on another sample pad, and now we're going to loop this twice. And now we have this sample pad, which we're now going to again normalize a little louder right here, and then we're going to reverse that, and then we're going to also apply the effects that we copied from our original sample pad. We're going to turn it down a little bit. We're going to bring down delay and bring up some reverb, and now we're going to loop that, and we're going to hit play on that. And you can hear kind of some saturation happening from the volumes. Okay. And so now we have our original guitar and this reverse guitar, and then the reverse guitar, which is originally the original one. So we can start tucking these in. Make it sound like an old radio. Bring down some of that reverb. Pan it over to the left. We'll have the other sample going forward. And let's take these off of loop. And we're going to stop everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to add it to our sequencer, which there's already just like a little beat going here. We're going to unmute the other tracks, and we're going to just kind of see how our samples work in here. So this is our claps and stuff, so it's pretty dry. So here, do that. And so now we're going to add in our reverse on the 1 and the 17. And what we'll do is we'll make this have probability of less than 50. So sometimes it won't play, and it'll allow the original sample to slide through and hit more of its the rest of the sample. Didn't trigger that time. And now we'll also add in our reversed resample on the 1, and we'll bring that down that it happens on the 1 of the 2. Didn't happen there because it's on the 2, so this time. Put a little reverb on everything. And then we'll actually have our original guitar sample happen on, let's have it happen on the 9, and we'll have it on the 1 of 4. Make some delay on the clap. And so just right there, you know, using one guitar sample and some other samples of just doing some goofy stuff, you can start to kind of like see it's just very easy to get lost as you're trying to make your creation, and just, you know, happy accidents happening with all the different kind of reverse delays, resampling, and then reversing those to be back to the normal play, but it has the delay tails. So it's some really, really fun kind of explorations. And now we have this little wonky home sample beat with these resampled guitars and reverses and stuff, and it just sounds kind of cool. More reverb, just for kind of ambience and effect. And then again, if you wanted, you can just resample this entire output again. So now we can turn up the reverb and turn it right back down. And then we'll stop that. And we'll stop our sequencer, and we'll stop our samples. And now we have our new resample, which was everything we just did. So just another quick kind of idea of how resampling can just lead you into all these like fun explorations and stuff, you know, just with using the microphone on the iPad.